Hello, my name is Eleni Tsirikou and I have received a master's degree in folklore studies from the National and Kapodistrian University of Athens. My research fieldwork concerns the folk culture of Roma children in Argolid in Greece. In the same area, I have also worked as coordinator in the program of education of Roma children, implemented by the Center of Intercultural Education of the National and Kapodistrian University of Athens. The topic of today's presentation is about the ritual and the meaning of the early engagement of Roma children in the area of Argolid, a region of Greece. The custom of Roma engagement was observed during my fieldwork research through participant observation and interviews. Roma, living in Greece, although they are Greek citizens with equal political rights compared to the other Greeks, such as the right to vote and the compulsory military service, are deprived of social acceptance, resulting in living on the margins socially and financially. This situation has inevitably led them to maintain a more traditional and closed social structure in relation to the wider society. Due to social and racial discrimination by non-Roma Greeks, Roma people tried to protect themselves as an ethnic group by securing their population cohesion. Thus, continuity can be ensured through the creation of new families, which will remain part of Roma society and continue to pass on their cultural heritage to the next generation. Engagement and marriage are key functions in Roma society and specifically in children's lives. The engagement of Roma children almost always takes place at a young age, starting from 10 to 11 years. The custom of the early engagement of children has been noted in Greece since antiquity. While in the wider Greek society, the age limit for engagements has increased and this custom is no longer observed at a young age, on the contrary, Roma society, which is deeply traditional, maintains it even today. The real reasons have their basis in social reality. The cohesion of Roma society and the continuation of their groups can be achieved through the institution of the extended family. This type of family includes, in addition to first-degree relatives, also relatives by marriage who create wider social networks. In the past, engagements and marriages at a young age shaped the social and cultural identities of young members, strengthening community and family institutions. Therefore, they functioned as a means of survival of the Roma ethnic group. At the same time, underage engagement and marriage are important aspects of traditional Roma identity. Children, under the weight of new responsibilities, accept the spirit of family and community more easily than they would at an older age. Therefore, the socialization of boys and girls into their gender and social roles from an early age leads to cultural preservation. In the case of the Roma group, the concept of Victor Turner's communitas can accurately describe their social reality. Communitas refers to a social situation where all members are equal and can share a common experience through a ritual of passage. This concept is usually characteristic of people who experience some limitation at the same time. So in the case of Roma children, their families control their personal and social lives. The ritual of the underage engagement takes children to the next social level, where now they should behave like adults and be initiated into family, professional, and social values and norms. In Roma society, where everything works collectively, the burden of decisions falls onto the older members. Parents are the ones who choose a partner for their children. The choice takes place when the children are still very young by concluding an agreement between the families, which is sealed by offering gifts to the children. This gift is an important symbol of power and value in Roma society that is not disputed. In cases where children, as they grow up, deny their partner or break up the engagement after it has taken place, the family's requirement to return the gifts and money spent on the feast often leads to vendettas between the families involved. Parents believe that disobedience of younger members to older ones means insulting the honor and prestige of the family. The honor and the value of every family in Roma society secures its social prestige, political power, and social progress within the cultural system. At this point, I would like to present to you some of the views of Roma children regarding the issue of the early engagement. Thanasis, boy 13 years old, mentioned the following. I would like to get engaged at 22, not earlier. The reason is that when you are young, you cannot control your life. Parents do. Now, my mother tells me to get engaged to a girl from Kalamata, but I don't want to do it. When I discussed with Roma children the importance of parents' opinion about the partner's choice, Gerasimula, girl 17 years old, said the following. Many girls do not listen to their parents when it comes to their partner and choose for themselves. But if a girl is not having a good time at her marriage, her parents may say that since she did not respect their choice and got married the one she wanted, now the blame is all on her. And this is right, because you need to listen to your parents. Another very important issue for the children is the fact that early engagement and school attendance cannot be combined. Nicoletta's 12 years old experience is the following. I got engaged and dropped out of school. Some of my classmates make fun of me, and some teachers say that what we gypsies do and get engaged as children is bad. But this is our custom. This has been happening for many generations. We cannot do anything else. If you do not get married and have a family, you will live alone without any respect from your relatives. I want to go to school, but my parents also say that now I have to stay at home because I'm engaged. Other girls told me that they were ashamed to continue their studies, fearing the comments of their non-Roma classmates now that they were engaged. These practices seem incomprehensible to non-Roma Greeks who criticize Roma people for their children's engagements. So children prefer to drop out of school. On the other hand, Roma parents explained to me that due to their social exclusion and their rejection by the wider Greek society, they believe that through early engagement, they mainly protect their girls from non-Roma who can take advantage of them. The girls must remain virgins until marriage. Virginity is the greatest asset for young Roma, so the girl's protection from the temptations of non-conservative Greek society is utmost importance. Attending an engagement ritual of 2 children in the area of Argolit, I had the opportunity to experience from close distance the whole ritual, which comprises a number of symbols. On the day of the engagement, a whole party is set up in the bride's neighborhood. A respected person in the community assumes the duties of master of ceremonies. He is the one who will ensure the normal flow of the ritual. The bride's family rents a music band which will play Roma songs so girls can dance. Dancing for Roma can be described as a ritual. Girls, always modest, show off their dancing skills and thus enhancing the reputation of their families. This is the reason why in a Roma feast, each family dances separately. A special place in the ritual is occupied by the presentation of the gifts of the bride's mother-in-law. The mother of the groom, in the middle of the ritual, will carry a large basket in front of the guests, which contains dresses, gifts for her new bride. The mother-in-law and other girls from her family will present the gifts to the guests through a ritual dance. After the end of the dance, the bride, as a sign of acceptance of her new family, is obliged to change her clothes and put on one of her mother's-in-law gift dresses. After that, the boy and the girl take their seats at the table in front of the band and are ready to accept the other gifts from their relatives. The master of ceremonies invites the leader of each family to offer his gift to the new couple. It's usually jewelry or money, which is announced on the microphone by the master of ceremonies in order to show the value and prestige of the donator. At the end of the ritual, the families of the new couple have now been united by new social bonds and have increased their social power. Now, let me show you some photos from that night. This first photo shows the mother-in-law and the other girls of the family performing the ritual dance with the dresses of the new bride. Here, the young couple has taken their seats at the table, waiting the gifts offering to start. Another photo of the ritual, the master of ceremonies announces the gift of each relative on the microphone, the kind and its price. Last photo, with the couple accepting the gifts. Let me note that the red ribbon you can see on the right wrist of the bride symbolizes the virginity of the bride. The children participate effortlessly in the ritual as they are prepared for it from a very young age. The customary engagement structure is transmitted through collective memory from one generation to another and works as a rite of passage to adulthood, and at the same time incorporates children to the Roma social context. From now on, the life of the young couple changes mainly for the girls, who have to learn to live as mature women. As far as the household is concerned, they have learned from an early age to take care of their family, doing all the housework at their paternal home with their mothers. The boys, on the other hand, are asked to work with their fathers as apprentices in order to learn their trade and to one day to succeed them. As a result, almost all the girls and the majority of the boys stop school after the engagement due to social and family requirements. Of course, the feeling of shame towards the rest of Greek society is the next most important deterrent reason. In conclusion, Roma children are confronted with two different cultural contexts. Theirs tries to introduce them to the Roma value and social system through the engagement ritual, while on the other hand, the wider Greek society tries to integrate them in the Greek cultural context, eliminating their traditional practices. The internal struggle of children between what they want and what their society demands is intense. The early engagement of Roma can be presented as an aspect of difficult heritage, but for Roma society, it's the first ritual of children's transition to the demands and obligations of adult life, which leads to the configuration of individual and collective identity. The duration and endurance of the ritual over time will be seen from the speed of the social transformation of Roma society. Thank you.